So before I get to the main clips of this video, let's talk about this epic fail on the Q17 bus this morning. So this was right before 10 o'clock on 188th Street and 73rd Avenue, as I was waiting for the Q17 Limited to take me down to Union Turnpike to get the Q46 over to Long Island Jewish this morning. Yep, you're seeing this correctly. This was a northbound bus to Flushing, and it was supposed to say Flushing Main Street, but apparently the sign was wrong and it said Jamaica. As you're going to hear in the next few clips, you're going to see how bad it's getting with the bus bunching situation over at Queens Village Bus Depot. So, before I play the clip, let me explain what happened. So, thankfully, the 2 o'clock bus on Union Turnpike and Springfield Boulevard showed up on time. But as you see in this picture, you're going to see how mad I got when it came over to bus bunching. And the next couple of clips are going to explain everything. What's going on today? Why are both the buses bunched together? Yeah, but it's supposed to be a 5-minute... Well, still, there's supposed to be a 5-minute gap. You know, caught traffic's not an excuse. You know, keep an eye on the time. Well, yeah, keep an eye on the schedules. You know, there's a PDF on the website. PDF. You can go on the MTA's website, all right? Still, I mean, now the other passengers are going to get screwed. Well, all I gotta say is, again, this is not acceptable. Well, you could wait 5 minutes next time. Still, we'll talk to your dispatcher next time. Still, I got good news. They just filled the 159, just left Amboy. Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Andy Pollock speaking on behalf of Passengers United. Okay, guys, so here we go again with terrible bus dispatching. You know, Queens Village Bus Depot and Jamaica Depot, it's getting worse, guys. It really, really is. You know, what you just heard was an exclusive recording of my confrontation with a Q88 bus driver. You know, obviously, I did it on voice record because, you know, obviously, you know, I don't want anybody from the MTA saying, oh, you did this, oh, you did that. Even though, again, in the state of New York, we have one-party consent. So, anyhow, guys, I want to protect the driver's privacy. So, in this day and age, trust me, crime and everything, it's, you know, we're in a very hostile climate. But you guys got to understand why I was being hostile. I mean, I wasn't being, you know, vulgar with this driver or anything like that. You know, my point is, you know, I told them there's supposed to be a 5-minute gap in service, all right? 5 minutes, okay? So that's what got me very, very angry today, all right? So the driver gives a BS excuse saying, oh, man, there's traffic. I'm like, bro, you were supposed to leave from Amboy Lane at 1:45. You're not supposed to leave with the same bus at 1:52, all right? That's why your buses get overcrowded, because one bus can't catch up with the other one sometimes. And, you know, it's idiotic. And what makes it even worse, when we got to Springfield and 73rd Avenue, when we made the left, what made it even worse was the fact that, you know, the kids were just cramming onto the bus when, you know, aren't these kids supposed to have street smarts and realize that, hey, there's another bus that has plenty more seats. We can get on this one instead. No, the kids decided to jam onto the other bus that was overcrowded. You know, I mean, how's that right? How in the world is that right? So, let me get into the specifics of the schedule, and you're going to see it on the screen in just a bit, because, you know, the drivers should have never given the excuse. All right, again, you can't be bunched up. You just can't. I mean, it's not acceptable. So, here's the situation, guys. So, I was glad the bus showed up on time at 2 o'clock, because I took the 138 Q46 bus from LIJ. All right, we left 2 minutes late, but you know what? The driver was just lollygagging. He didn't even start the run until 138, and then he waits 2 minutes to leave the hospital. All right? So that was one issue. That was one issue right there. So I'm looking at the schedule right now, and you're going to see it on your screen in just a bit. All right? So this driver was supposed to leave at 1:45. 1:45. All right? And remember, there's supposed to be a 5 to 7 minute gap in service. Sometimes 8 minutes. I'm like, bro, you're supposed to know to pull over. All right? You can't wait 5 minutes. I mean, aren't you supposed to be on radio with your dispatcher? And I tell him to go, why didn't you speak to the dispatcher? And he's like, oh, the dispatcher's not my problem, man. I mean, really? Really? So, guys, it's a disaster, okay? Not that many people see it for what it is, but I see what it is. And, the bunching has just gotten completely out of control as usual. And now with the fact that you're going to have, let me think, right, the Q17 bunched up. I saw 2 buses on 188th Street neck and neck with each other, okay? I don't want to hear excuses about traffic. I mean, if you know you're not supposed to be in a destination for another 5 minutes, then pull over. Tell the customers what's going on. We're too early. How is that acceptable, guys? I just don't get it. I don't get it. And it never surprises me with Queens Village Bus Depot. It just doesn't. So, guys, we've had enough of this. We're tired of our buses getting overcrowded. We're tired of all this bunching. I'm sure you guys take a look on the transit app. You see it on the MyMTA app. And, your buses just get bunched. And here's another crowded Q17 bus. And I bet the next one's coming in 3 minutes. Just watch. There'll probably be like another one coming to 188th Street and terminating here, So, guys, it's just a disaster, and it's not getting better anytime soon. And until there's a shakeup at Queens Village Bus Depot and maybe even Jamaica Depot, and until there's major changes at the unions that represent these drivers, then I don't know, guys. I mean, again, I know that, I know the law, Violence doesn't solve problems. It doesn't. And, hopefully the governor's going to change the bail laws this week. So that way these drivers feel protected while they're out. Now the budget's due on Saturday. Let's hope that everybody can start feeling safe again. And, maybe we can get some common sense with bus dispatching. I don't know, guys. I mean, I'm just frustrated. And, I had enough of this bus bunching. I'm sick and tired of it. And the worst offender always is the Q76 on school days. I mean, the Q76, again, why does the Q76 get bunching on school days? How's that acceptable? That's the worst offender out of all the bus routes in Queens that sees the most bunching. I have statistics and I have proof that most northbound buses, when they go to College Point, they're bunched up. So maybe traffic is a reason. I don't know. I don't believe this traffic nonsense. I really think it's a dispatcher's fault. I really do think it's a dispatcher's fault that they're not going on Google Maps. They're not going on Waze and checking traffic conditions. And I blame them too. So, you think with all these traffic monitoring apps, it'd be easier for these dispatchers to tell the drivers, hey, you might want to leave a few minutes early to be on time or something, because, So as I said, guys, things are not improving anytime soon from what I'm seeing. And, maybe in the summer it'll calm down once the kids are, on their summer vacation. I don't know. I mean, it only gets worse here in Queens with the fact that starting July 1st, and I'm making an unrelated point up, we're going to have a summer of hell on the F train. So I'll quickly explain what's going on. So they're doing work on the Roosevelt Island Tunnel, and this is what Jonathan has told me. And if I get in trouble for Jonathan for saying this, then I don't really care. But I need to warn you guys right now, there's a summer of hell coming. It's going to transpire onto the buses. And what's going to happen is the Q60 bus is going to be the worst bunched bus in the whole Queens. It's going to overtake the Q76 starting on July 1st. All right? So it's only going to get worse when we have buses bunched on Queens Boulevard, because no one's going to deal with the F train. The F train's going to run with delays because the E and the F have to share the same tunnel on 53rd Street from Queens Plaza to Lexington Avenue and 53rd Street beginning on July 1st. So, it's just going to get worse, guys. I mean, you all remember when the Long Island Railroad had their summer of hell and the MTA had that organized. So I just see a dark future ahead for the MTA. And it's not going to be like Boston, where hopefully Philip Banks is going to clean up the T up in Boston. But, I clearly think there's wrong people managing the MTA. I really am starting to think that Richard Davi is not the solution to our problems with New York City Transit. I really think at this point that we're getting to a point where Cafe Rinaldi again cannot run two railroads. The Grand Central schedules are a mess. And I don't even want to get into that right now. And I'm going to do, you know what, guys? I'm going to wrap up this video. I'm going to talk more about the schedule changes coming up in May, because I'm telling you guys, I agree with what John Mitchell said. They really need to have more trains running on the Central Branch to Montauk in the summer. They really need to reconfigure that once we get to Memorial Day weekend. So I'll talk more about that in April, but for now, small changes need to happen at Queens Village Bus Depot. Small changes need to happen with Jamaica Bus Depot. And my message to Richard Davi is you have plenty of time to prepare for the summer of hell beginning on July 1st. And I'm telling you, it's going to be a nightmare for people who ride the F this summer. So this is Andy Pollock speaking here from the Fresh Metal Shopping Plaza. And that's all I have to say for now. So thank you for watching. Thank you for watching the Andy's Randomness channel. Please feel free to like and subscribe, and to follow Andy's Randomness on Twitter and Instagram at Andy's Randomness.